welcome into the Sporty Show. It feels like it has been ages since we've all been together. I am Sara. It is the final day of the international break, and club football is returning this weekend. And who also returned from England, Klinton.
Oh yeah, I had to go do my international
duties.
Yeah, I went to play for Luton.
That's why they lost to Greece.
Oh, get out, man!
I knew there was something wrong.
No, I don't care about that. But it was the goal I scored. It was one of the best things ever. Like,
Did you get a video?
Right, I'm going to request on my WhatsApp group from our captain. No, I'm definitely going to find this video. Trust me. I'm sure there is our captain. No, sorry, not the captain. Our coach, Mo. He has a video somewhere. And trust me, Sara, Alex, if there's Gary, listen, that goal. I don't even see Victor Osimhen scoring that kind of goal. I scored from midfield. The goal was just too beautiful.
I feel like until proof. We keep hearing about these stats of Klinton, and there's just never any hard evidence.
It wasn't even just the goal. It was even the assist as well. Like, I gave two crazy... Listen, this assist, Kevin De Bruyne cannot give it.
All right. Give us the video. We'll put it on the show.
We need to get Mo on the show.
Yeah.
Mo, if you're listening to this, please, we're getting you on the Sporty Show because you need to tell these guys what I do in Luton, okay? They need to be sure with the video evidences. So, yeah, I'm bringing it here, 100%. But listen, that goal was too beautiful. Ah! If you see my goal,
I'll wait till I see it.
Okay, cool, no, that's fine. Listen, that goal, Ronaldo, the only player I see scoring that kind of goal, apart from me, is Lionel Messi.
Wow, must have been good.
Wonder
how many times it took. Film this again, Mo, quick.
Do you want to introduce Alex?
Right, okay, obviously, I can't believe we've had like a whole conversation for like half an hour, and now it's time to introduce Alex. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as usual, the tallest man in Madrid. Apparently, there's a new tallest man, though.
There is.
Yeah, I saw him. Well, okay, yeah, I don't know. I will need to put the both of you on the scale and see who's taller.
He is taller than me, I think. But...
I don't know why I'm actually introducing. We've been having conversations. You guys know it's Alex. Like, I don't need to say Alex again. We've been talking about my goals. Fam, let's get into this thing, man.
Mark and Day, welcome back to the show. As always, joining us, imaginary soccer match, Klinton. I think so too. Come on, Klinton, we need the proof. So try and get on that, and we'll show it to everyone. But guys, a very busy week ahead with the Sporty Show and SportyTV because, like I said, club football is back this weekend. We have Klinton's Manchester United taking on Brentford. Juve and Lazio are also in action in the city. Bayern Munich will be playing Stuttgart. And we have Getafe and Villarreal in La Liga this weekend. Of course, with also Al Hilal, Al Nasser. Lots and lots of football here on SportyTV. But this is what's coming up on today's show.
The Sporty Show kicks off today by looking at the Super Eagles and all the drama surrounding their cancelled game against Libya. We also talk about all things Ghana, as the Black Stars lost against Sudan today, failing to score again in a lacklustre display. And we also take a look at all the action from the international break.
Let me also welcome in Gary joining us from Ghana because I think there's only one place to start here, Mr. Gary, and you are wearing the jersey. Klinton, go crazy.
Gary, just before I go crazy, or I go mad, or I go crazy and mad at the same time, Gary, what's happening to Ghana, please? Talk to me. Or talk to us. Because I know if you talk to me, your English will not be the same. Talk to us.
We are finding our level currently. That's all I'll say.
Wow. This is the shortest answer Gary has given on this show.
Literally.
Right?
All right. So obviously, Gary, Ghana lost 2-0 to Sudan, could not even score. It's looking a little grim right now, but you are here representing your team. But talk to me. Listen, they shouldn't be losing to a team like Sudan, should they?
Yeah, we should, because over the last... Yeah, actually we should. The teams we have been losing to in the last 5 years, it's just indicative that we've been losing to Madagascar, Comoros, and countries like that. And I'm saying Comoros. I mean Comoros, like Comoros. That's who we've been losing to. So it's been coming. Anybody who has watched the Ghana team knows that it's been coming. The way we even qualified for the World Cup, we've had consecutive AFCON group stage exits, something that has not happened. We are breaking all the bad records. We went to an AFCON and didn't score a goal for the first time ever. We went to an AFCON, had a group stage exit in some fashion also for the first time ever. So we've been racking up the bad records, the historic bad records for a while. So it's not surprising that this is happening. And if you look at the way we've been playing, I don't think any honest Ghanaian will be surprised at the way we lost to Sudan. Yeah.
I mean, with the likes of like Mohamed Kudus, Iñaki Williams, Jordan Ayew, and his brother, I just lost his name there, but they shouldn't be doing this. Andre, thank you, Gary. They shouldn't be doing this bad, Gary.
That's the interesting thing. Every week in Europe, like, if you see the squad, always when you name a squad, there's some controversy. Oh, this guy's not supposed to be there. Comfortably, for the last 6 months, when the coach names a squad, we are all in agreement that 95, 98% of them should be there, and they are there on merit. So why are they not able to replicate what they do week in, week out for the national team? There are lots of theories. Bottom line is that they are not gelling. They are not having the cohesion. Most importantly, they are not delivering the results, and it's absolutely sad. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because Iñaki Williams this season has been absolutely brilliant for Athletic Bilbao. He has 4 assists. He has 1 goal in 9 matches. He's been on fire. He's put Nico out of the picture. We know Nico Williams obviously picked up an injury, but Iñaki Williams is firing right now in La Liga, and then comes to Ghana, and obviously it's not the same.
He can't do a thing right, Sarah, for Ghana. He literally cannot do a thing right for Ghana. Like, he's having shots and he's scuffing them. And regularly, he's perpetually offside. Today, of all days, when he got the ball at the back of the net, it was ruled out offside. Like, he literally can't get anything going for him. And then there's Antoine Semenyo for Bournemouth. You know how he's playing for Bournemouth? Like, he's on fire for them.
He's been brilliant.
More than 7 over 10, 8 over 7 over 10, 8 over 10 performances all the time. Mohamed Kudus. There are guys in Belgium who are delivering. Defenders, Mohamed Salisu, scored in the Champions League. It's just bewildering. There's Thomas Partey. Like, if Thomas Partey is not playing, you don't see any difference. Like, nothing. Whether he's there, he's not there, it's the same. He's not been around for this international break. Nobody really batted an eyelid, because even when he's there, you don't feel him. You don't see him. There's another discussion for Partey for another day, because unfortunately, and he's my guy and all that, but it seems like he's more injured than he's available for the national team. And so we are not even it's like Michael Essien all over again. When Essien was at the peak of his powers for Chelsea Football Club, we couldn't depend on him because he was injured. Something had happened. It's just Michael Essien all over again. And so it's a difficult time for us.
It's quite sad, just like I said, just mentioning the name of all the players from Ghana, you would be expecting Ghana to be beating a team like Sudan with at least maybe like a 4-0. But then again, the only reason why I cannot really comment proper on Ghana is because Nigeria, we cannot really say there's much difference. Well, at least we still win.
Right.
That's the only
Nigeria
difference.
won.
Yeah, we won. But then again,
at least Ghana played.
No, but the problem is there are teams that Nigeria play, and the first thing we're saying is, what is going on? Why is it still a draw at 70 minutes? Like, what is this? This is a team that, when you look at the players, there's no one person you can just bring out and be like, this person is a global superstar from this team. But when you look at Nigeria, just the same way Gary was mentioning the likes of Partey, Kudus, Iñaki Williams, a whole bunch of them, Semenyo as well. That's the same way I can start going on and on for Nigeria. Like, I think Nigeria even have 2 times more than they have in Ghana. But what is exactly the difference? Now, the question is, what is the problem, though? Because it's not like Nigeria is going to play Spain. Then we would say, okay, right, football here is different, and maybe they are taking advantage of how they play here over how it is in Africa. But this is Africa to Africa, right? Now, there are some African teams that you would not expect. Now, I was speaking to somebody at the weekend, and I was asking why, and they said, Oh, I mean, you even remember when we were interviewing Victor Boniface here and we were asking him this same question. We said, how come we will have all these stars in Nigeria, but you guys can't deliver the result that we expect? What did he say? He said that the problem here is these other teams that are not recognizable or people don't know as much, like we feel like they are inferior. You know, a team like Nigeria will just work on them. They are also there to defend their country. And what are they doing? They know that this other team, they are coming to beat the hell out of us. So they are just defending. They want to do everything possible. Like it's like they don't really sit on that pressure that Nigeria sits on. Do you see? So it's like, okay, we are just going to try to score. The opponent is saying, no, we are just trying to we are going to avoid them from scoring us. So they are not going into win. They are just saying, no, don't score. If we score, it's a bigger bonus. Now, imagine if Libya had won the game when they played us in Nigeria, right? What would have happened? Trust me, I don't think Gary came here is still able to talk. I wouldn't be able to make a speech. I would just sit here and just listen to you two because that would have been a disgrace. And what happened? We succeeded by winning with 1-0. It would have been to you. One of the goals was cancelled. They said it was an offside by Ademola Lookman. Clearly, that was not off. We don't have VAR. Gary, is VAR not in this South African football? No? I mean, is it maybe Nepa? Okay, yeah, it's light. Maybe when ref will run and go and check, but before you know, power holding company and the TV will just off. Sorry?
Not in qualifiers, no.
Okay, but we have them in the main competitions.
Some of the leagues. Some of the league competitions, yeah.
Because Ademola looks, I mean, sorry, I've switched into Nigeria, but we're coming back to Ghana again. But I was saying, if there was VAR, maybe Nigeria would have won league. But the question is, with that kind of squad, why were we or why are we still struggling?
You don't want to be winning with VAR with a squad like that.
Well, thank you. Thank you. That's what I mean. That's exactly what I mean. Like, why are we... I mean, look at even Benin won Nigeria 2-1. Like, Gary, come on. Would you ever imagine that? Would you ever think if they were to put odds on SportyBet, you know, to say Benin will win Nigeria, £10 would probably get you like, who knows, £300, right? Because everybody would imagine that no way Nigeria will be losing. But what happened?
But Klinton, I think that's the thing, right? That it is this, you know. I mean, look, almost all the teams right now, especially, remember, AFCON is a 24-team affair right now. I mean, the pool is now wide open. You just have to be a bit serious, know what you're doing, select players who can do the job, map out your opposition properly, and you're halfway there. And you're looking at the teams who are on the cusp of qualifying or have qualified. Uganda, almost there. You know, look at the teams who have qualified already. DR Congo joined them. Senegal joined them. Sadio Mane scored a last-minute goal to qualify with 2 games to spare. DR Congo also with two games to spare. Algeria did so yesterday with 2 games to spare. Cameroon did so with 2 games to spare. The host nation, Morocco, are already there. And then Burkina Faso also did like 2 days ago or so. So these are the teams that have qualified. These teams, you would expect them to make it, whether it's a 16 or 24 team AFCON, right? But then you look at the teams that are going to start qualifying from, we have 2 matches to go, 2 match days to go. And you are going to realize that, look, if you're a big name and you allow yourself to be complacent, you are going to have yourself to blame and you are going to be very, very, very surprised. And that's where the Ghanaians and Nigerians are. I put out a table or a graph mapping our progress, or rather our retrogression since 2016. We have not gone up in the FIFA ranking table since 2016. We've gone, it's like, and we are 70th. And we are 70th.
Wow.
You know, like, and it's the true state of our football right now. Today's defeat was even more embarrassing, guess what? Because we're beaten at the hand of a Ghanaian coach. So the Sudanese coach is Ghanaian. And he's the one who took us to the 2014 World Cup. He's a former national team player as well. So, like, the embarrassment is multiple fold. If you might see me tweeting, but right now, I am out of solutions because they say, right, in our job, when we speak on SportyShow, we talk about Manchester United. We think they should do this, that. I am officially out of solutions because everything I would have said was a solution I think we have tried and hasn't worked. Coach, giving them freedom, choosing players on merit in the best leagues in the world. We've done everything. You know, the pitch, the last window, we said it was the pitch. We blasted the government. We gave them hell. There have been demonstrations, here. People have hit the streets to demonstrate about the state of the football, whatnot. The pitches were fixed. They couldn't score. The football was rubbish. So now, what else can you say? We've never had bonus issue problems. So monies are paid on time. So none of that. Logistics, the players are flown. I think it's first class or business class. They don't have any problem. They are going a certain beyond a certain distance, they go via a chartered flight. So there's no problem. No problem. So as I'm sitting here, I'm sure someone, so Gary, what can we do? I don't freaking know. I don't have any answer for you. Like, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, let's talk a little bit about Nigeria as well, because I think these situations go hand in hand. Because yay!
Change his nationality now.
Because
Sorry, hold on. Can we speak more like 5 minutes about Ghana, please? Because you can't. What do you mean? He's even bringing a Nigerian flag that's not even ironed. Like, fam, like, yo, what's that? No, Gary, don't put yourself off.
Has failed.
I had a couple of flags, African, flags that I've always folded just for, when I get visitors and stuff like that. So I literally just took it from my word. Come on, man. I'm representing. I'm putting myself in a Nigerian ship now. Now, I'm announcing right now. Because, we are not qualifying for the AFCON, so I might as well. Don't do that.
Sarah, what do you want to know about Nigeria?
Oh, I don't want to know about them. I want to talk about them because I think the situation goes hand in hand with Ghana. I think it's a bigger picture. I think this is an AFCON issue. So for anyone that doesn't know, Nigeria is supposed to play tonight against Libya, the second match of their international break, the second AFCON qualifier. So they beat Libya the first match. What happened was Libya arrived in Nigeria and were told to go 350 kilometers away from the airport that they landed at. Nigeria won that game. No shock there. Then the same thing happened. Libya said, well, we're not happy with this. We're going to make them come to a certain airport and then drive 200 kilometers away. But there was no transportation set up. There were obviously all the viral photos, Osimhen and Boniface at the airport. They said, we're not doing this. We're not playing.
Osimhen wasn't there, by the way, but go on.
No, you're right. Sorry. Who am I?
Boniface.
It was Boniface.
No, but there was...
Lookman, usually everyone apart from Osimhen.
Anyway, no, sorry. Osimhen was the one that apparently came out and said it was like a hostage situation. He took to social media.
That's social media, yeah.
So, Gary, obviously, like you're seeing this. This to me, as an outsider, obviously, I'm looking at African football and I'm thinking, no, this is a way bigger issue. You have last-minute changes, teams just saying, we're now going to go play in a completely different city. There's no transportation being set up. Now teams are taking a stance and say, we are not playing these football matches, which they have all right to. I'm not saying that's bad, but it's gotten to a situation where matches aren't being played because it's just a disaster. And it's all I'm looking at AFCON as a whole. I'm not saying it's one team or another, but it's really bad right now.
Well, as everybody knows, this is not new on this side of the world. There are tactics that some teams deploy to destabilize their opposition. Sometimes it has worked, sometimes it has not worked. What we do not know for a fact is whether Libya's claim that the same thing was done to them last week, Thursday, Friday, is 100% true. But it's gone to the CAF disciplinary board. They will look into it. Like you said correctly, Libya claimed that they were told to land at one airport. But Nigeria say that both teams agreed to or on a flight plan as to where they would land, only for Libya to tell them 2 hours into their journey to Nigeria that, hey, we are going to land somewhere else. So according to Nigeria, they had made preparations to welcome Libya with a bus, security, everything at planned airport number 1 or A. And then by the time they had to scramble for the second airport where Libya were now going to land, according to Nigeria, they couldn't realistically do all that in 2 hours. So somebody is lying. We have to find out who. Same situation, Nigeria also saying vice versa. Now to the larger picture. These things have happened to multiple countries. There's drama all over the place. But why doesn't it happen in Europe? Why doesn't it happen in South America? Because then, everything is about the regulator. If I am coming on this show, the producer, aka the regulator of the show, is not ensuring that my camera is working, my sound is working, my internet is working, he takes as much blame as I do if I come onto the show and my sound, unless it's what they call force majeure, that's completely different. So the organizer takes the blame in the end. That's the Confederation of African Football. And why do we say that? Before anybody says we are always blaming the organizer and that some of the countries must take responsibility. They started a new competition called the African Football League, within the last 18 months or so. Now, for that competition, because of how quickly they had to put it together, they put in place an ad hoc group that was in charge of flights and all logistics. So what this ad hoc group, like a middleman, became like a middleman, right? So this group, who are supervised by CAF, will contact country A, country B, and say, tell us how you are coming. Country B, this is how these people are coming. We all agree, and that group is in charge. So they don't leave it in the hands of the country to do whatever rubbish they want to do. And so if you have done this only 18 months ago, and you are going to get a situation where Libya, mind you, because of everything that happened with the civil war and everything, Libya has not had a stable government in place and all that. But no matter, it's not an excuse because Libya has been hosting international matches in Libya for a year. Guess what? Even today's game between Ghana and Sudan was played in Libya because Sudan are at war. And so that's the neutral territory. So Ghana did not have any airport problems. Sudan didn't have airport problems, which brings us back to the question. If the organizer did their homework well, put punitive measures in place, or put in a middleman group to ensure that nobody can take anybody for a ride, and because, very, very soon, when the CAF disciplinary board bring out their reports, one of two things is going to happen. We are going to find out that either Nigeria lied or Libya lied. But how do we stop this from happening? The organizer, for me, has to take blame because, come on, countries are always going to be silly. I don't want to use the other one with the STU, but they're always going to be silly, try and play games, try and have underhand tactics to win games. And it's never going to end. But in Europe, South America, Asia, the Gulf, it does not happen because the organizer ensures that there are measures in place. So unfortunately, I have to say, it goes back to the organizer. It's as simple as that.
Klinton, how did you feel yesterday when you saw the team posted up at the airport, just kind of in limbo land? You didn't really know what's going on.
Well, first of all, I think, Africa can do better, right? And I know Gary has mentioned so much about the organizers, right? But the countries individually, I think they can still do better than what they are doing. If Libya were going to respond to Nigeria with a retaliation, I just think that's very childish, okay? Even if they decide to say, yeah, this was what they did to us, right? Listen, there is a regulator to these things. I think the best thing or the best channel to go through is to say, yo, CAF, this is what we've experienced. Well, we don't like it. This thing has costed us the game. We're tired, blah, blah, blah. Like I said, they are going to investigate this thing and they will see who's lying. Because Nigeria, the country is claiming, or the Nigerian Football Association, or Nigerian Football Federation, they are saying that, listen, we made organization for you to fly to a particular part of the country where you will be having the game. This is what the NFF, they are saying. And the visitors had to change their journey by themselves to say, no, we don't want to go there. We want to come here. So you find some kind of alternative for us. The question is, why did you halt your journey? This is the one question I've been trying to think about all this while this has been going on. why did the country organize to say, come to this part of the country where the ball is going on, and you who's coming from Libya, you say, no, I want to stay in Port Harcourt.
At that point, you just say, well, you go there. You're not going to be playing a game of football.
Well,
You're here waiting to play football in this city. Why are you going to that city?
Well, exactly. This is the question. So whatever happens at that point, assuming this is exactly what's transpired, right? If that's what... Listen, then Libya is at fault. Like, they have themselves to be blamed. Okay? Now, you wouldn't expect some kind of quick arrangement because you have halted your journey for unknown reasons and you want the country... Man, this is a whole football squad.
It'll be like Real Madrid flying to Old Trafford and being going, oh, we want to play the Champions League final here instead of Wembley now.
Well, exactly.
Travel up
Well, exactly. You know what I mean? So it doesn't make sense. Now, the Nigerian Super Eagles then going to Libya and them having to leave them in the airport for hours. Yeah? I just...
16 hours.
Sorry?
16 hours.
16 hours.
16 hours.
That was pathetic.
Do you think
know?
it would make
That's
players
shambolic.
not want to play for the national team if they know that they're going to be wasting their time? And not because it's anyone's fault, but do you think that would deter them because they're, being stuck, they don't know what's going on, they're obviously exhausted, and, they go back to their clubs where they're treated in a different way?
First of all, you see what I was seeing on social media again is I think a couple of people said on Twitter, and they were like, this is why you don't blame Nigerians or Africans who are refusing to go play in Africa. Because, like we said, you don't see this happening in Europe. Like, you're not going to hear that Lamine Yamal flew to Germany and they just left them in say, Frankfurt. When
Bayern Munich were like, no, we're not playing in this. We're playing over there now.
Do you know what I mean? So the truth is, this is an African problem. And when I was tweeting about this stuff, I just felt, the one thing I said was Africa needs to do better. There's just something about Africa that would always Africa. Like, Africa would always, Africa just keeps African in. They just show. We just. How would you ever think that a national team would say, "Oh, so you guys did not transport us to Uyo? Okay, come to our country. You guys will sleep in the airports." And do you know when I was looking at the likes of Victor Boniface, and Ademola, all of these guys all laying on these airport chairs, and for me it was, wait, is this some kind of Nollywood movie going on here? Like, is this actually for real?
Why didn't they go to a hotel?
They weren't allowed.
They were not allowed to leave the airport.
They weren't
That's
allowed
the thing.
to leave the airport.
They were locked in the
They
airport.
were locked in.
No food, no water, no
No
Wi-Fi.
internet. Nothing.
This to me sounds more like a government issue at this point. Like, where if you're not, there's one thing about, the location has changed. We're pulling a fast one on you, trying to be smart. But then to tell somebody you can't leave an airport, this sounds like
For me,
this is
that
bigger
felt like
than
some
football.
kind of whole stage situation there.
There is also the case of Trustekon, the captain, said that he didn't want to travel anywhere by road because he didn't feel like it was safe.
They were talking about this.
But then, you could, in that sense, Libya might have given that as a reason why they were stuck in the airport because they didn't want to risk them going out and getting into security issues or anything like that. So
I mean, Victor Boniface posted one of the buses that was arranged. Like, I'm telling you, if I was a Nigerian Super Eagles player, if I entered that bus, I'm definitely going to lose the game. Like, 100%. Like, fam, you need to see that. In Nigeria, that bus is what we use in carrying pure water. Oh, man, you don't know what pure water is. Gary, in Ghana now, when they make pure water, those buses that they use in carrying pure water from shop to shop. Is Gary still there, by any chance? Yeah.
I'm here, I'm good.
Yes, that's the bus they brought. I could just imagine, Ademola Lookman, who is a Ballon d'Or potential winner, looking at that bus like, wait, hang on, we need to provide a few. I will buy a few buses for this country.
Wait, is there not an argument because we don't know who's done what yet? Libya had to drive 350 kilometers for the game before they played Nigeria.
Which was their fault. Like I said, we don't know what the truth is.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So, like, what if it came out, that Nigeria was the one to pull the fast one? No wonder they didn't. Like, I feel like we don't know anything right now.
No,
like,
the thing is,
it's all hearsay.
Like I said, right? Let's imagine that Nigeria actually did that.
Yeah.
Where would I hold Libya to account? They should be reporting this kind of issue, not waiting for retaliation.
Yeah.
Okay. This is what I'm saying. If say for example Nigeria was wrong to trying to pull that kind of stunt, which a part of me, no, Nigeria will never pull that kind of
Well,
stunt.
Markande here says, and I don't know if this is true, Klinton, you tell me, but in June in South Africa, the same thing happened. Nigeria made them land in Port Harcourt and travel by road to Uyo.
Yeah.
Nigeria is not being playing here. So he said the same thing happened with South Africa in June, but I can't recall this.
I mean, from what I've heard from quite a few football journalists based in Nigeria, they've never mentioned this happening to any other football team, including the same South Africa that Makinde has mentioned. They said South Africa has been to Nigeria. Ghana, listen, these are... First of all, we don't like South Africa. Right, no, we love... Listen, we love South Africans, okay? But the truth is, Nigerians and South Africans... Okay, let me tell you. So there are 3 countries we are... So there are 2
rivalries. You're talking about rivalries here.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Gary.
talking
Thank
about
you. It's
rivalries
just
here.
a
Gary, hold on.
football
Gary, hold on.
rivalry.
Let me...
Just
This
a
is...
football
Hold on.
rivalry.
This is what I was going to explain. Ghana versus Nigeria, Nigeria versus South Africa, the relationship is very different. Us and South Africans is actually beyond football.
No.
No, that's what I'm trying to explain to you. With Ghana, it's jollof rice and football.
It's just...
Right? Do you see? So
It's
these are the 2. Okay, actually, so it's jollof rice, football, and their women
Oh, no.
versus our women. Right?
Okay.
Which,
All right.
which there's a nice relationship there. I can't lie, because they will say Ghanaian women have big butts more than Nigerian. Damn, are we speaking about butts already?
No, you are. You are gay.
Don't put this on us. This is all you, man.
No. You guys are making me go into.
No, we're not making you do it.
Yeah, please, keep Alex and I out of it.
No, but listen, South Africa, whom Nigerians, we have issues with ourselves. Mind you, we only have issues with ourselves when it comes to domestic, like normal stuff. But when it comes to us finding their women, we are very good. Like, listen, no, nothing stops us from... There's one thing, let me tell you something about Nigerians, right? It's even within Nigeria, there are the Igbos and the Yorubas, yeah? They don't like themselves either. There's always this fight going on. But we are very good at marrying ourselves. Like, you will see the Igbo man finding the Yoruba woman, or the Yoruba woman looking for the Igbo man. Like, when it comes to relationship, there's no issue. It's the same thing with these countries. When it comes to... We love South African women, but when the fight starts...
Okay,
When
all
the,
right.
No, wait. Let me get into this stuff proper. So, because I want to explain, I want to dismantle this stuff that Makinde have said, right? Makinde is saying that no. Go listen to a lot of people a lot of countries who, right? Hang on, wait. The way you guys are reacting, did I say something that I shouldn't? Because, no, wait.
We've gone off track here, folks.
Okay,
We've gone a little bit. Bring it back to the football. Bring it back to the football.
So
Circle right around.
Listen, let me bring it back to the question. On no account, no time has any team complained that, Nigeria did not... This whole South Africa, this is the first time I'm hearing it, and it's coming from Makinde.
Fair.
Right?
That was my only question.
Okay, so I'm telling you now, that we have hosted countries that we have issues with, and we've treated them well. We have hosted Ghana that we have issues with women, Nigerian jollof, and what else? Maybe sometimes the banters that they have lights, we don't have lights, yeah? These are our banters. But when they come to Nigeria, they come to play in Abuja, we treat them like they are kings, right? This is what we do. So there is no way Libya will wake up one morning and decide to say, you got... Fam, they've said it already. They said, land in the state. Akwa Ibom is where Uyo was, where the game was happening, right? Come to Uyo. So what was the whole... This is why we say we need to hear.
I think we need to hear. Okay, let's finish off this conversation with, obviously, Gary, you were talking about how some teams like to, have the upper hand, they bring them places. But we see this all the time in CONMEBOL. We've seen, Panama, the fields are flooded, but they still have to play. Canada brings people up to Edmonton, and it's -30. Chile brings, other South American team to the Estadio Doros, where it's the desert. Bolivia and La Hoz, the altitude is crazy. So we know that other football, I've lost the word.
Advantage. But
Yeah.
that's why you are playing at home. The home advantage.
Sure, but that's why, okay, you have the home
But there's-
fans,
there's-
the
there's a
pitches they're
limit.
used to, the climate. But this is another level. This is getting out of hand.
Because even in the UEFA Champions League, Guardiola can tell the pitch manager to increase you know what I'm saying? Jose Mourinho can tell the gardener, the groundsman.
The gardener.
You know what? The Pep Guardiola is coming over. They are going to play sexy football. So let's increase the pitch grass by 1. It's all part of the machinations, but these are acceptable levels. Once you take it to airports, and I'm not going to
Logistics.
give you a good hotel, and you know, we are going to give you a rat-infested hotel and stuff like that. No, that's different level, okay? And I'm sorry to say, in African club competitions, we see that all the like all the time, especially when it's getting to round of 16, quarterfinal, semi-final. Yeah, you know, you are going to hear all these stories. So notoriously, North African teams notoriously take everything. They don't drink any water from their host countries. They don't eat any food from their host countries. When our athlete is traveling, they go chartered flights all the time. And when they are disembarking, it's like a whole camp on its own. The water is from Egypt. The pillows are from Egypt. The bed sheets are from Egypt. They send an advance party from the Egyptian embassy to check the hotel. 9 times out of 10, they are not going to take your hotel. They are going to, if you give them this hotel, they are going to book this hotel, fumigate everything, and stuff like that. It's normal. However, you know, we've come to accept that there are areas where you don't touch, and this air flight thing is one of them. You don't agree with me, especially when I'm using my own flights, that I'm going to land this way, and you are going to change my flight itinerary in the end. Conversely, you don't agree something with me, and then you tell me that, no, I don't want to land here with just an hour to time, and so on and so forth. So I will always come back to the guy who organizes the competition. You know, that whether it's Nigeria who did it, whether it's Libya who did it, come on, man.
I think I can't wait for them to get to the root of it because, like I said, right, if Libya is saying, no, we cannot land here in a country that's not yours, the host country has told you where to land. They've said that this is where the game is going on, right? And it's very close proximity to where you would be having this game, and you decide to say, no, I don't want to be there, I want to be somewhere else. Yeah, I think it's on you. That's your problem. Like, this shouldn't be a Nigerian problem.
Yeah.
And if you are going to take that, yeah, you land there in this airport. Like, what? I really can't wait to hear what the truth is. Because right now we are hearing from the Libyans.
Yeah.
We're also hearing from the Nigerians. So there's 3 sides of the story. So it's just the truth we're waiting for now.
Well, we'll follow this story, obviously, as the week continues. Hopefully we find out more. But this in just breaking news right now. Thomas Tuchel has been named England's manager. Alex Ashmore, free action.
I'm very happy with that, actually. I think, you know, some people might be a bit divided by the appointment, but I think when you look at his record as a competition manager, I think he does brilliantly. Obviously, winning the Champions League with Chelsea, with perhaps not the strongest squad, coming up against Man City in the final. You know, yes, he didn't win the Champions League or the Bundesliga with Bayern last year, but went toe-to-toe with the best team in the world, Real Madrid, in the semi-final. You know, obviously being let down by that mistake from Manuel Neuer. You know, he is a fantastic manager. He's had that experience. He did brilliantly with Borussia Dortmund, and then obviously, you know, went to PSG. Didn't quite have the success that he perhaps would have wanted.
But no one does.
Exactly. Did a fantastic job with Chelsea, and you know, I was really fond of him when he was at Chelsea, and was sad to see him go. So, really happy with his appointment. I think he'll do well with the young players that England have. He'll build a squad heading up to the World Cup in 2026, which is obviously the next objective. And I think, you know, as much as I think Lee Carsley would have perhaps done a good job, I think he's right in saying that this is a job where you need a manager who's won major tournaments and major trophies, and this is the manager that we've needed for a long time. And you know, I think he's the perfect man to to carry on from where Gareth Southgate left us off.
Careful with your words there. What was going to come? No, listen, you guys have had a solid team for the last 5 or 6 years and have underperformed under Gareth Southgate. Yes, you've gotten further. I've heard the narrative. You've gotten further than you've ever gotten, and that's great. But with the team, I mean, let's just use the Euros, the most recent tournament. Yes, you got to the final. But how many times were the 3 of us sitting here thinking, how? Because the football wasn't up to the level of the players that represented the team. The substitutions, we won't get into that because we could be here all day. But finally, yes, a manager that I feel like matches the standards of the 3 Lions.
Absolutely.
Klinton, is it time to fear England?
Personally, I think one manager I've ever respected in my life has been Thomas Tuchel. And during the time when he was at Chelsea, you don't understand, I followed Chelsea quite closely, and I knew that Thomas Tuchel was literally the best manager for Chelsea. when he went to other teams, I wasn't really paying attention. But you could clearly see that he's determined. He's somebody who wants to win. You could see that the passion is there. You know that he knows how to rear talent. And I just feel like him getting this England or this English job is the best thing that would happen to the English squad. Thomas Tuchel is literally a very great manager. You could see his ginger. You know, I don't know what ginger is, but I just
What?
Ginger? Ginger?
Gary, when I say you can see somebody's ginger, what do you understand by that sentence?
I don't know.
As a Ghanaian, you don't know?
Okay,
if I
can you
tell
explain it
no,
to
hold
us?
on,
Because
hold on.
3 of us are
Wait,
lost.
hang on. Wait. No. I think Gary's just pretending right now. So if I tell you that
don't
this
know.
guy has some proper ginger. Gary.
I don't know.
Hi, God. I'll, please, you guys should go and read your YouTube comments. I'm not even going to... No way.
Does it mean he has that something about him? Or maybe... Or
When I say
He has
Alex,
that ginger.
Alex comes with this ginger.
he means
The
business.
sauce?
He's like...
Like he's got the sauce.
Very energetic. He's the sauce, the aura.
Okay,
you know? So
fine.
in Nigeria, we would say, well, this guy get ginger.
I was getting a little dark for a minute.
No, but that's something I love from Thomas Tuchel. And I just believe that this English squad or this England team that you see right now, it's not going to be the same. Fact. Like, the game you expect them to win, they're going to win it. The one that's going to be tough is going to be tough. But England, this is the right guy for the job.
I mean, you look at the teams that they built, that Chelsea beat on the way to winning that Champions League. Atletico Madrid, Porto, Real Madrid, and then obviously beating Man City in the final. That's
crazy.
Pretty tough.
No, for real.
To beat
For
those
real.
teams.
For real.
You know, beat Real Madrid 3-1 on aggregate is, you know, unheard of almost in recent times. And, you know, when you look at him coming in sort of midway through the season, you think, you know, Chelsea haven't got a cat in hell's chance of qualifying for next year's Champions League. No problem. He goes on and wins it. I think really happy with this appointment and fantastic. Hopefully he can get in the job as soon as possible and make his mark on this England team.
If Pep Guardiola had the job, what would you be thinking?
Oh, just screaming. It would be just a sad. I'd be in my room. I'd be wondering why. I'd be sitting there, like, you know, those like philosophical, like, oh no, I'd be so
It has
upset.
to be Tuchel, for me, Tuchel, Guardiola, or maybe Ancelotti, if one day he wanted to take that job, or a really high quality...
What about Jurgen Klopp?
I was just going to
Or
say...
Jurgen Klopp, or a really high quality English manager like Eddie Howe, for example. But Tuchel...
I think even Eddie Howe at this point, like, you guys have just got, like, you've been
wouldn't
so disappointing with the team that you have. Like, it doesn't, the contrast has been too much. It's not like, well, we haven't, you know, had, a good generation of players, let's say. The players have been so good, so you guys needed someone.
This is arguably the best generation of English footballers since the days of Lampard, Scholes, Beckham.
I agree.
Yeah. No. And still nothing to be won. So,
Just
like, it's
knowing-
time. You need a manager at that level. There's no other choice.
Do you know what it means for England to play Greece?
And lose.
Yeah.
Like, do you know how...
No, that's why the decision, they had to. They said,
No,
you gotta
for
come
real,
in
though. I
today.
thought that was...
Today. No, okay, let's talk. So, you guys lost to Greece. Yeah, any comments on that? First of all, fun fact, actually, Alex and I found out earlier today. Greece have the most accumulated points in all of Nations League since the tournament started.
Exactly.
Greece. 2004, Greece.
Yeah. To be honest, I think when you look at these Nations League games, yes, international football is important, but Nations League, I really don't see the point in it. I think you have your World Cup qualifiers, you have your Euro qualifiers. These games, you can really tell that these players are playing a lot of football. That, you know, obviously Greece won, so they're still playing the same amount of football, but you can see the toll it's taking on these players. And I think, you know, yes, it sorts out the groups to then put them in different qualifying groups, but it's just adding football for the sake of adding football. And I think when you look at, you know, for example, they're playing 2 games in 2 weeks and then they come off and they're playing Champions League, they're playing, you know, La Liga or Premier League, you know, days later. I think you can't expect them to perform at a high level all year round. And then also, I think when you look at the performance on the night, Greece deserved it. Greece were the better team. You know, I think it was a nice night to pay tribute to George Bulldog, who sadly passed away the week before. And, you know, I think for Greece, they're a team that seemed to be definitely on the up. Like you said, you know, 48 points, I think it is, from 22 games. You know, could they be one to watch maybe for the next Euros, maybe even for the next World Cup, a dark
Oh my
horse?
God, another 2004 shock.
Yeah.
Greece win. Here for it.
But good to beat Finland, I think, on the return leg, or on the return fixture, the second one. What a goal from Trent Alexander-Arnold.
Hey.
Doing it again.
Yep. Oh, man,
think-
that free kick.
Yeah.
My God.
I think these things are going to happen. You're going to lose games in football, but I really, at this point, they're complaining about the amount of football that players are playing. You have to look at the competitions that really do you need them. Nations League, I don't really see the point of it.
Well, FIFA is getting blasted. This morning, a lot of higher-ups in the football world have come out and taken it to FIFA, including La Liga's Javier Tebas, the president of La Liga, saying that there is too much football. We spoke about a lot of the injuries that occurred in the September international window, and now we've seen players like Lamine Yamal, Bukayo Saka picking up lesser, injuries, but still strains. And a lot of it, you're unsure, are they just going back to their clubs because they don't want to risk it?
Yep.
Maybe. And it's like the slightest little thing, a little pinch, they're out, they're not playing. So, yeah, we know that there is absolutely too much football being played. And I feel like we're almost finally at the boiling point. Because it's been like this for a couple of years now, but it's getting worse and worse. And for, the president of La Liga to come out and say, hey, FIFA, we're not happy with you. That's, it takes a lot because usually everyone kind of stays quiet. They're all focusing on money. They're not focusing on, but it's getting to the point now where it's affecting the leagues. And the football, like the level of football, in my opinion, it's not the same.
No, it has gone down. We're losing all the good players. You've mentioned something, Carvajal, Rodri, these players that we want to be seeing week in, week out. These are the people that, yes, obviously fans, they support their club. They'll go and watch them week in, week out. But these are the players that people want to watch them on the TV. They want to see them do well. If Lamine Yamal was, thankfully I don't think it's looking like a serious injury, but if he was out for, 6 weeks, you look at the games that they're playing, yes, someone might argue that they're important because then you get a higher qualifying group or an easier qualifying group for the World Cup or for the Euros. But, it is pointless. I think, Saka, he's been playing pretty much every game for Arsenal this season. Yes, they're talking about, I think Lee Carsley even said it himself, he could have played against Finland. Why are you even thinking about that?
Don't.
He could play against Bournemouth this weekend. Why play him against Bournemouth when you can rest him from the Champions League? This isn't the decision that clubs should be having to make.
Oh, but they have to.
Because they're playing so much football, they have to. The club should be able to say, I want to play him in these games because I think, yes, club football's another issue. I think they should be playing less football. You look at the Carabao Cup, you look at the Club World Cup. There are tournaments that are in there for the sake of adding football, and it's going to take its toll, and we're already seeing it, and it's going to get worse and worse, and someone has to do something about it.
Guys.
Otherwise,
May I have my 2 cents? May I have my 2 cents?
Talk to us.
I have just one question. If you take the number of games that FIFA has every year versus the club games every year, the FIFA sanctioned games are minuscule compared to the load that the clubs or the club competitions give to these players. So I'm just playing the devil's advocate here. Why should the international games be the ones to cut down on the number of games that have to be played on an international level? Because this year, for instance, how many international... Yes, that's what I'm saying.
No, I don't think you're wrong in that. But I think when, like you brought up, Alex, Nations League, this is, a tournament that was made up, 4 or 5 years ago? We didn't need it. There was already too much happening. When you look at the La Liga or the Premier League, the Copa del Rey, FA Cup, Carabao Cup, there is too much football in the club as well. But these are also tournaments that have been going on for decades. Let's not invent new ones. I don't care if it's club or country. But it's the newest one, I think, that has been introduced. And I think a lot of people focus on the Nations League because it is the newest, and it seems so unnecessary when you already have the Euros. And so you're like, well, we have 2 European tournaments now. Do you know what I mean, Gary? You're not wrong when you say FIFA have the least amount of games, but where do you start taking out matches then at the club level? You have to make sure, you have to really schedule, the entire year and make sure that players are playing once a week for the league, but then there's Champions League, but then there's Copa del Rey. It does get techie.
Yeah, but then again, I think what we're not considering here is this, we're just looking at it as just football. What about the business aspect of it? Where
they're rich.
Where does this player make their money from, right? I saw
They don't get paid for the international football.
No. Some countries, they...
Are you talking about the money that they make from, sponsorships and stuff like that?
So this is where I'm heading at. right? Because I think Sara made a statement regarding, I don't know if it was Gary, just regarding the fact that, okay, which of the leagues needs to be compromised now for them to have less games. And I was looking at which of the league do they make their money from, right? Because I feel like I will prioritize the area that's feeding myself and my family. What is giving me the money to buy all the houses in the world or whatever I want to do, right? Yeah, because if you've just said that they don't even get paid to play, for their countries or whatever, which I think that they definitely do. I don't think anybody plays like English. I don't think English.
They don't get paid from the country. They could get paid for sponsorship stuff, but you're not paid to play for your country. You do it because you are so excited to represent it.
Yeah.
Players don't. That's not how they make their money.
No, they make money from the club, of course, yeah.
Yeah, but they're not getting paid.
No, but I would have thought that some countries, give their players some kind of handsome.
Bonuses.
Yeah, bonuses.
Especially in Africa.
In Africa, exactly. That's what I was going to say. Because I'm talking based on Africa now, right? These players, I know they get, even when Gary was speaking about logistics earlier, he was saying that they are not owing them this, they are not, everybody's getting what is due of them, right? So why are they not performing? But then again, bringing it down to this one, I would understand that even if they are getting paid, it's probably not as much as what they get from the clubs. But then again...
Just to confirm, actually, England do get paid. England players do get paid, but all of that money goes to charity. So they get paid around £2,000 a match. All of it goes to charity.
Fair.
Right, okay, which is fair, because at the end of the day, £2,000 compared to what they make from their clubs is like a drop in an ocean, right? I was looking at this tweet because somebody spoke about this thing about do players deserve to get paid as much as they do? And somebody gave a whole long thread as to why they feel like they don't deserve it. Now, the only area they don't look at is the business aspect of it, right? If you are using us for business, right, and this business is yielding so much, it means I deserve so much too, right? But then again, when you think about the fact that, okay, there are people who are in professions that require so much, right, compared to football. Say, for example, an average surgeon in America who's studied a whole neuro whatever for like 20 years trying to find out stuff. His salary at the end of the year is probably like $500,000. Maybe the top ones are earning $700,000. But at the end of the day, this is like what somebody earns in 1 month playing football, kicking football. They've not studied any course for 10 years. They've not done research. They've not done qualitative or quantitative studies. They've not gone to do. What they do is they use their talent. They play on the pitch. Now the question is, do they do what? So actually, what brought that conversation on Twitter was I think it was during the time Rodri was complaining, right? Rodri said, we're playing too much, blah, blah, blah. And somebody literally just went and gave a whole proper analyzed detail on why they believe players, no matter what happens, they're getting overpaid. So the question is, do they have the right to complain that they are playing too much compared to what they get from playing too much? This is where the thing is. But fact is, you cannot cheat nature. This is biology. You could strain your muscles just running every single day, training, playing all these nations, blah. But anyways, this is a whole conversation.
It is a whole conversation. Yeah. And with that, we actually ran out of time here on the Sporty Show. So much to talk about. Final international games today. So tomorrow we will get into that. Tomorrow's show as well, I'm putting these gentlemen to the test. We have a little bit of a quiz. So Gary, get your thinking cap on. Coming up right after the Sporty Show, we do have the EuroLeague where Real Madrid are taking on Baskonia. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And until then, guys, enjoy the football.